Good evening, welcome to another review by DWC. This time it's a very special model that I've been really waiting for since the pre-order come in, and it's come from Flying Tigers at Cyril, friends of the page of course, and this is the Fighter Collection F8F Bearcat, of course displayed by the boss himself, Stephen Gray, for many years, and quite an iconic display at one of his last flying legends to Pink Floyd Shine On You Crazy Diamond. An amazing air show spectacle. So let's get into it and have a little look. So I've already said, this aircraft has been one of the stalwarts of the fighter collection since it moved to Duxford in the early 1980s, and arguably Stephen Gray's finest or favourite aircraft because of the pure power, the epitome of sort of piston power towards the end of the war. This one's made by a company called SkyMax, and SkyMax, for those who aren't aware, are a subsidiary of Hobbymaster, known for doing stuff like the Tempest 5 and the LA 5. And of course the Bearcat, a number of Bearcats in my collection. I believe this is number 10. So let's get into it and have a little look. So pretty standard box, not like the Hobbymaster ones, got a few bits inside there. And this has obviously been imported by Tiger Hobbies, who are the main importer of all things Hobbymaster. And a little bit of detail on the back around in terms of what the Hellcat was about, in terms of its performance, length, wingspan, power plant and whatnot. The box, like I said, is very standard. There you go. Comes of course with the plastic clamshell inside, as always, with the display stand here, so I'll try and pull out without destroying it. And to your left, you've got all of the other bits, like your undercarriage and whatnot, all sealed in a sealed bit of plastic. We'll have to unravel that for a look. There we go. So 2 undercarriage, tail wheel, a couple of gear doors, and of course the belly tank. And here we are in the actual the aircraft itself, as I'm sticking to the display stand. And we'll pull that up. Oh, the canopy's popped off there, but there she is inside. A bit heavy-handed there from me. Hopefully I've not damaged the canopy. Put the canopy back on. No pilot, which is a shame, which is unusual for obviously Hobbymaster. But the canopy does pop off quite easy. So if you do have a mini Stephen Gray knocking around in your spares, now's an opportunity to put him in. And of course he's a big lump, so he's about 6 foot whatnot. But there you go. One of the criticisms of the Bearcat model is the lack of dihydro. As you can see, it's flat as a pancake there. And one of the guys over in Model Hangar 3 does a great job disassembling and bending it, but that's well beyond me. Question marks whether that would be yellow or the more chromate green, whatever it's called. But decent detail on the panelling, and Tampo is nicely printed as well. And of course, there's a bit on the squadron insignia at the front there. Lovely little model. So let's get her on her display stand and see how she displays. So here she is out of the box. If I can show you the bits that come with it. So you've got obviously 2 undercarriage, a rear door cover, the cover that covers the hole that the stand goes into, and 2 doors. Let's zoom in a little bit. What's really good by SkyMax is they've designed the stand so you can actually use the belly tank in display mode as well. Just a shame there's no pilot, which is it's a minor thing, but again, if you've got spare pilots, I mean, Hobbymaster did obviously spare World War II pilots and whatnot. But it's a great little model. It is dinky. I mean, for 60 quid, there's not a lot here, is there, really, in reality? But it's just a small aircraft, and you know, even if you see it on the flight line at Duxford, and hopefully we'll get to see 2 of these on the flight line at Duxford this year with the visit of the Red Bull Bearcat, well, providing it's flying in time, of course. I've got a bit of work to do to get it flying in time for Shuttleworth at the end of the month. But it should be a great spectacle for all to see. Of course, the Red Bull one is in the Blue Angel scheme, which has been done by SkyMax. One thing that's slightly annoying for me is that you have to trim the bag it comes in. So I don't know if you can see that. You have to cut the top, and they're not resealable bags, which is a bit of a ball ache if you want to put it all back in. But look, that's, again, it's just nitpicking. But it looks really cool to me. So now is the time to get it onto its undercarriage, and we'll talk a little bit about it then. Here she is, all set up on her undercarriage, and how glorious does she look. A real powerhouse of an aircraft. Not the biggest of aircraft, but you'll see this display with the Hawker Sea Fury or the Hawker ISIS Fury, which is obviously the Duxford resident Duxford based one. It's a sight to behold, especially when they're dueling. One thing I would say again about the model, the undercarriage is not the firmest. Once it's in, but it's a little tricky to get in. It's not, even though it's a block style undercarriage, it is quite brittle, so just be really careful. And the undercarriage door, the inner doors are also quite tricky to get in, especially with the drop tank. But it looks so good, this aircraft. And of course, like I said, real stalwart of many Duxford air shows. And of course now another of the fighter collection aircraft that's been made alongside the Gladiator by Corgi. So I've got a custom P40B as well, and of course you had the early Pearl Harbor B, which is made by them. What else have we got? I'm trying to think what else in the collection's been made. Of course, numerous Mustangs over the years they've had. So they've Miss Velma, but that's not yet been made either. But it's just a nice little thing to have. I would imagine the Mark V EP120 is a high candidate to be built when the new Corgi Mark V hits as well. But it's nice to have a display warbird made. I think people have been crying out for this for years. And Gary, of course, who's on the page, made a brilliant Code 3, which I believe gave these guys a bit of a nudge to get it done, because it was absolutely incredible. Again, it'd be lovely if they could fix the wings slightly and get a bit of a pivot on there, I should say, or pitot on there. But it's not a bad model, is it? It's a great little model. This is number 10, I think, in the collection now. Not bought a new Bearcat in a number of years. Obviously, they've been few and far between, but this is one of 2 releases that's recently come out. So, well, I'll be looking to get that at some point as well. But I hope you enjoyed the video. A very unusual subject to put on there. But if you haven't subscribed to the page, please subscribe to the page. We could do all the help we can get, and all the love is really appreciated. Thanks for watching, and I hope you tune in soon. Cheers.